Okay, today is August 8th, and my name is BJ. I'm Boss Lady's mom. And I wanted to talk about self-worth because today I learned a valuable lesson about self-worth. Um, I listened to a song once by a very well-known artist. And he said in his song, back when he was a child, before life removed all his innocence, his father would lift him up. And when, was it Luther Vandross that made that song?
Mm-hmm.
When Luther Vandross made the song Dance with My Father, and he said that quote, I didn't understand exactly what he meant when I first heard the song until I listened to my own life.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that when I lost my innocence, my father and my mother no longer lifted me up. But today, I learned through the various orders and different things in my life that I learned my self-worth. That I learned that I allowed people to devalue me because I did not value myself.
Right.
I didn't know what my self-worth, I didn't know how important self-worth was. I had let people beat me and bully me all my life. I became a punching bag instead of fighting back. I went to church last Sunday, and my pastor told me to stand as if I was a boxer. So I had the boxing stand where you put your fist up and you block your face so that you can fight. And I didn't know how to do it. And he said that I didn't know how to do it because I never fought. I never stood up for myself. And I never stood up for myself because nobody stood for me. And I didn't know how to stand up for myself because I was never taught that. Because my family that raised me bullied me. And now that they're all dead and gone, I didn't know how to live life without the bullies. I didn't know how to live life without the bullies because the bullies were always around. So now the bullies are dead. I'm trying to finish raising my children, which I thank God that they're grown now. Not because I was sick of them, not because it was a lot of them. I just thank God that they're grown and they're not bullies. But they're so strong and they're able to go through stuff and they micromanage really well. I didn't have those qualities. I raised them scared. I raised them fearful. I raised them in a dark place. I raised them in loneliness. I raised them in depression. I raised them scared of my own shadow. But today I learned that I'm important. And God loves me just the way that I am. And I mean something to somebody. But the most important thing I learned today is that I love me. And I'm okay. Just the way I am, flaws and all. I made mistakes. I've been in dark places. And I'm better. I'm a better person for it. And I'm not perfect. And that's just who I am. I raised 6 girls and 3 boys and 2 of my grandchildren. I wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed. I wasn't the prettiest girl on the runway. And that's just who I am. I work at a school as a cleaning lady. I used to be a teacher, but I stopped doing it because I had a heart attack. And I had 9 children, and my doctor said with 9 kids and being a school teacher was just too much pressure, and I just didn't do it. But all my life I was told that I couldn't do stuff. And now I'm 62 years old, and I'm just now learning that I can do anything I want to do. But I let fear and people's voices stop me from growing, from moving, from progressing. Because I started listening to the voices, and for so long, they talked to me and talked to me. So I literally thought that I couldn't do nothing. So I sat down, I cried, I was depressed, and I was sad. And I stopped. I stopped doing everything that I know how to do because I literally didn't think I could do any better. But now I understand what it means, how to take your pain and turn it into fuel. At 62, I'm going to be so great in my life now. because now I know what to do. Now I know that I'm important and that I have a lot to offer this world and that I can do anything through Christ who strengthens me, because all things are possible. That's what the word says. Paul persecuted the church and God changed his life. David cheated, killed the woman's husband who he cheated with, and God blessed him. Moses was a murderer, and God blessed him to lead the children of Israel across the Red Sea. Adam and Eve fall in the Garden of Eden, and God still blessed them. And all the people in the Bible that made mistakes, that fallen, God allowed them to get back up. And I cannot devalue myself and think God won't get me back up. I couldn't even enjoy church service or any other kind of service because I was so scared. I was so afraid that God would never forgive me because my marriage didn't work. My relationships with my kids didn't work out. There were things that was going on in my home that I didn't understand, that I didn't believe, that I didn't know about, that I suppressed because of fear, because of anger. My relationship with my mother was so verbally abusive, it drove me crazy. My relationship with my father, he just ignored me. My stepfather loved me, but he didn't even stand up for me. My auntie adored me, but she didn't stand up for me. The people in my life when I was a little girl that I thought that no matter what, they would be there for me, they would be on my side. Nobody stood for me. But the worstest thing is that I did not stand for myself. Let me tell you something. It's true what people say. When you don't stand up for something, you do fall for everything. I fell for the sweet talkers. I fell for the manipulators. I fell for the liars. I fell for everybody in my life that walked into my life. They could see me coming a mile away. My grandmother used to say, if you see a fool, bump his head. My head got bumped so much that when I fell 2 weeks ago and I got a swollen head, it was a life changer for me. It was like I started seeing my life for the first time, what it was really like, how stupid it was. Not me, just my life. How I had the power to change it. And I didn't even realize that I was strong enough to do it because of all the negativity for 50-something years of my life that had been spoken to me. And my daughter came to me and she said, Mama, why are you listening to that? These people are gone now. They're gone. God took away all the bullies. He took away my mom, my dad, my stepfather, my stepmother, my aunties, and my uncles. They're all gone now. God took away the bullies. He took away all the options. He took away everybody I leaned on that I thought that would be there. I leaned on them one day and there was nothing there. I leaned on the other side and there was nothing there. Even my best friend that I loved like a sister joined another religious group and she don't even call me as much. Now, I'm not going to lie and say that when I reach out to her that she don't reach back. She does, but it takes a while. And I'm not even mad at her. I'm literally not mad at nobody. When I tell you, I need you to understand that this is a life changer for me. I understand now what I have to do. I understand now that I can live an amazing life because I finally get it. My boss is a wonderful woman of God who has an amazing ministry, who talks to people every day, who has blessed my life in so many ways, financially, spiritually, mentally, physically, and gives me so much wisdom. And she tried to talk to me. And every time she talked to me, I didn't want to hear nothing she had to say because I literally thought that she was picking on me. And the reason why I felt that way is because all my life I have been picked on. So anytime anybody said anything to me, positive, negative, or otherwise, I could not see the positivity in it because negativity was all that I ever heard. If you were to see my face right now, you would see my eyes fill up with tears. But I'm telling you, this is not sadness. This really literally is not sadness. I'm excited. And even though I can't jump up and down because I physically am not able to jump up and down like I used to because my body hurts a lot, I'm a very excited woman today because I know my value. And I'm not going to let anybody devalue me anymore because I don't want to. Because the bullies are gone. I'm not sitting in school in the 60s where white kids are spitting on me and throwing things at me and treating me like garbage because my skin is so dark. Where boyfriends are taking me out only to sleep with me. Where my kids are not introducing me to their friends. I don't have those feelings in my heart anymore. That's all gone. I hated my life for so long. I was so mad at myself because my kids didn't have the same father. I was so mad at myself because my marriage didn't work out. I was so mad at myself because everybody seemed to have a decent boyfriend but me. But when you look past people's masks that they wear on a daily basis, underneath all that stuff, it's a lot of darkness. And I didn't realize that until I started spending time with these people. And when I tell you that the devil is an illusionist, people will make you think that they are living a perfect life. I heard this one songwriter say, he said, I'm living my best life. I'm not going back and forth with these niggas. I was like, why would he sing a song like that? And I thought to myself, and I started listening to that song and listening to that song and listening to that song. You know that song make a lot of sense? This song make a lot of sense. I was going back and forth with people and back and forth with people. My life is really not that bad. I got all 9 of my kids out of high school. 6 of them graduated college. The other 3 is working on it. I got a granddaughter that graduated from high school. I got a grandson that's on his way to graduation. I got grandkids that are in school now. Grandkids that are coming into the world. Coming in slowly, but they're coming in there. They're smart. They're intelligent. They're good kids. But it's not today. It's not even about them. It's the fact that I learned what my value was just hanging out with my daughter today. How she encourages me. You know, we went into Kohl's department store today, and we was looking at bikinis and stuff. And trust me, I'm over 60 years old, and I've never owned a bikini in my life. Yes, I did. I owned a bikini once when I was 18. And she was like, okay, we can buy some bikinis, got a coverall, go to the beach and all that kind of stuff. And my mind is thinking, oh my God, I'm too old to be wearing stuff like this. People gonna laugh at me, da-da-da-da-da. And all the rest of that. And my daughter was like, Mama, you still curvy even at 62. You can do this. So I'm thinking to myself, so I go to the bathroom. I'm looking in the mirror. I said, you know what, she's so right. I can do this. So I wanted to express how I feel on my daughter's show because this mommy and me thing that me and her created together is to let people understand that me and my daughter had a conversation in our old house, and it was so real and so honest. Mm-hmm. She said what she needed to say. I said what I needed to say. I told her about the things I've been through. She told her about the stuff she'd been through. We cried, we laughed, we did all of that. But today was life-changing. I don't devalue me anymore. I'm a good person. I made some mistakes in my life. I was in some dark places in my life. I laid with some men, I'm telling you, even Satan himself wouldn't have went to bed with them. I'm telling you. If I could go back, I'd have slapped myself and them for even doing it. But they're even gone. I don't even see these people on the street. They don't even reach out to me on Facebook. I got men coming up to me that have businesses and jobs and entrepreneurs and everything, trying to talk to me. And I literally ignore them because I'm like, they can't possibly be talking to me. They must be talking to somebody else. You see what happens when you listen to those voices of the past? People trying to tell you that ain't nobody gonna want you because you ain't got that much going on. I had a lot going on. I raised 9 kids. Do you know what it takes to raise that many kids? with no money?
Talk about it.
It takes a lot. Do you know what it takes to raise all those kids while you raising them with one hand and beating them with the other? It takes a lot. Do you know what it takes to make sure that all those kids go to school? Because I had to go to work. You got to work every day. You got to be consistent every day. I had someone that didn't want to go to school. What do you mean you don't want to go to school? I don't care. Everybody goes to school. If I got to go to work, you got to go to school.
Yeah, she ain't playing about that.
I may not have been consistent with a lot of stuff with them, but when it came to school, they had to go to school. My kids are going to be educated. I'm going to tell you why they was going to be educated. You're going to be educated because you're not going to grow up and be stupid. That's why you got to go to school. That's what I used to tell them. Because I don't want no stupid people in my house. Now, I got 2 grandkids to stay with me. My granddaughter is my biggest irritation. I mean, she irritates me so bad that I want to spit. And my grandson irritates me so bad that I start itching. And there are some days that they spend nights with their friends or people that they know. And I don't even care that they be over there. I just don't want them in my house. And then there are some days that I want them at home because Satan is busy. But when they get out there in that world, and like that songwriter said, when life starts taking away their innocence, we can get many things back, but we can't get their innocence back. We got to protect them. That world don't care about our kids, our grandbabies, our nieces, our nephews. We are African American. We got to get our kids educated. We focus on the wrong stuff, y'all. Y'all worried about, you got your kids on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter twerking. You put Nikes on their feet and someone can't even spell Nike. What is y'all doing? You got 2 and 3-year-old kids out there dancing in the street. Can they spell 2 years old? Can they spell 3 years old? No, they can't. I've worked with people, grown people that can't even spell a name correctly. His name is Edward. How do you spell Edward? E-W-A-R-D. No, Edward is E-D-W-A-R-D. When you tell him that, that's not how my mama spell it. Oh, my God. And then people want to laugh at him. So stupid, you don't even know how to spell your name. That's not his fault if he don't know how to spell his name and he's over 40. That's a mama thing. Y'all not listening. You're not listening. You're listening to the wrong stuff. Our kids need to be educated. Well, we ain't got to worry about that because the internet will teach them this and the internet will teach them that. You are the first teacher of your child because you're the mother. Do you know your ABCs? Yeah, A is for apple. How you spell apple? That's what they do in class. I work at a school. I hear them every day. How you spell apple? A-B-L-E. Where A-P-L-E. Where's the other P at? Oh, it's 2 P's in apple? Yeah. Apple. Oh. And then, it get close to the end of the school year, you call the parents, you tell parents, look, 2 or 3 weeks, even a month before school starts, and tell parents, look, it may be even 6 months before school, and tell parents, look, your child is having difficulty learning. I'm going to send homework home. I'm going to send this and that home to get so that your kids can learn. Know what the parents do? They want to call and cuss out the school. How is it the school's fault? You got to make sure your kids is doing their homework. I used to make my kids read 20 minutes a day. And then if they didn't do it, they had to read an hour. They didn't want to read an hour, they had to read for 2 hours. My kids had to do book reports. When other kids was out there running around in the summertime playing with their friends, my kids was in the house writing book reports. What's the capital of Nevada? What you mean, What did I tell you to learn? If they knew 49 states and they didn't know the 50 states, they couldn't go outside. If they couldn't count to 100, they couldn't go outside. Everybody talking about, I think that's child punishment. You know what's the punishment? It's when you send them out of school and they're 18 years old and you say, get out of the house, it's on you. Do you know 18 is the dumbest age in the world to make your own decisions? What is the matter with y'all? We can't keep sending our kids out there not being educated because the world is chewing up our kids and spitting them back out, and then they send them back home. Like my daughter said, life didn't want them. So they sent them back to us. They sent my granddaughter back. You know what I've been doing since she's been back home? I've been popping her. Why you keep hitting her? She over 20 years old. I don't care. She came back home. She getting her ass whooped. And yes, I'm going to keep popping her. I'm going to keep popping her. I'm going to keep cussing at her. I'm going to keep doing whatever I got to do. I'm going to keep praying for her. If I have to take a bottle of blessed oil and pour it on her like I'm giving her a bath. We got to educate our kids. Y'all doing too much. We doing too much. We doing too much. We so focused on trying to make money. We so focused on trying to get us a man. We so focused on trying to get us a husband. If you can't control your kids, what make you think a man want to be with you with your out of control kids? Don't no man want to be with you and your buck wild kids. Them ain't his kids. Kids jumping out of windows, climbing on furniture. I be in with my friends in their cars. They got kids in the back seat. Mamas be driving, kids is hanging onto the back seat, sitting on the back seat. I wish one of my kids would have did that in my mama car. I'd have beat them to death. Like Medea said, whoop them and ask questions later. I'm glad I'm not raising no kids now because I'm like Medea. I'd have been working for bail money. Because every time one of them did something, I'd have whooped them and I'd have been locked up. Kids is running the household. Like I had a little boy come to the school one day, come to the front office. I was watching the phone. He said, did my mother come and bring me my lunch? I said, your mother bring you a lunch? You don't like school lunch? He said, no, I don't really care for it. He sounded like he was being a little respectful, you know. And I said, well, maybe she just didn't feel like bringing it today. He said, she know better. She know better. You know I had to turn around and sit on my hands? I wanted to smack that boy the next week. What happened to us? We were the generation of kids. We were the cream of the crop. We know better than to talk back to our black mamas. Now we sit up at the school and we condone our children's behavior by saying it's okay for our kids to talk to the adults like that. We sit up and say, well, the teacher do got a smart mouth. Your child got a smart mouth. Kids should not be at school talking back to staff. If your child is supposed to wear a uniform or they can't wear pants with holes in it and they come to school with that on, if you was asleep or you was at work and they called you off your job because you got to come get your kid, you should be walking through the door with your fist balled up, punching your kid and dragging your kid out to school. Because one thing about it, when I used to embarrass my kids at school, I tell my kids all the time, I don't care if you get embarrassed at school. Guess why? Because I'm not the one that's got to go back to school the next day and get laughed at. I'm going to be at home. And that's where y'all dropped the... Told my daughter is a straight A student in college. She was in the 3rd grade. Teacher kept telling her stuff. She didn't want to listen. I told her, I said, let me tell you something. That teacher called me one more time, and I now wore wigs. I said, I'm going to walk in there with my house coat on. I'm going to take off my wig, and I'm going to walk back out. She begged and pleaded with me. Mama, please don't do me like that. I said, okay, then stop clowning in her classroom. She couldn't stand that teacher. She kept clowning. She didn't believe me. And I was almost 50 years old when that girl was in the 3rd grade. I walked in that building. I had on regular clothes. I had pulled my pants all the way up. Found the thickest, brightest pink house coat I could find. I put pink rollers in my wig. Rolled it up. Had a fake cigarette in my hand. I put black stuff under my eye. Walked in there and I said, my man been beating me all night. Now this doggone school gonna come up in here and think they gonna beat me up. I said, so you want to clown? You want to act a fool? I was bald-headed as an egg under that wig. I shaved all my hair off. The little bit that I had. I walked in that school. She was sitting up there clowning, talking back to that teacher. I snatched that wig off so fast, put that wig in my pocket, and I looked at her. I said, hey, how you like me now? She said all the way down. Tears came pouring out of her eyes. I walked right out of that school. Because guess what? She wasn't going home with me. Her punishment was her getting teased. Guess what happened when she went back to school the next day? She set her butt over in that corner and did her work and became a straight A student. Guess what she doing now? She's sitting her butt in college being a straight A student. Guess what she get in college? Anything she want. Why? Because she remember when she was in the 3rd grade and I snatched off that damn wig. Yeah. People talking about, these parents nowadays, Don't do nothing with their kids because they scared of them. How you gonna be 20-something years old and you scared of a 3-year-old? He dancing on. Let me tell you something. I had a parent one time, K5 kids, 3 little boys, standing on top of the desk, took off their shirts and swinging them. And the little girls in the classroom took the money out of Monopoly and was throwing it at them. And everybody thought it was funny. They got their cell phones, was taking pictures of it. I'll put this on Facebook. No. I got a broom over in the corner. I said everybody got 5 minutes to put their shirt back on. And it's not at the school I was working at now. Them boys put them shirts on so fast and sat down. We are doing too much. Why is 5-year-old boys stripping in K5? Why do we got 13-year-old girls thinking that they can have sex wherever they want? They don't even know how to spell sex. What is y'all doing? And then they want to say, oh, mamas is doing this. Mamas and daddies is doing this in front of their kids. When I was growing up, my parents used to tell me, you do as I say, not as I do. If y'all want to sit up and get high and smoke, that's y'all business. But make them kids stay out of y'all mouths and out of y'all faces. Do them like our mamas did us. Go in the backyard and play. Go in your room and play. Get them out your conversations. Get them off the phone. Why do kids in high school got iPhones and ain't got no iPhone jobs? What about that? Why do your kid got a game? You know what I told my grandson? Until you learn how to read the instructions to that damn game system you got, you will not play it. You know what he did? He learned how to read that book. Your son got an iPhone and he can't read the iPhone instructions. The devil is a lie. Little kids got puzzles. You give them a puzzle and they can't fit the piece in there, and instead of them finding the piece that fit, they want to sit there and bang the piece that don't fit. How dumb is that? And you sit up there watching him. He learning. He ain't learning. He being crazy. Pop his ass. Make him stop it. Y'all sitting there letting these kids do anything. Then you got kids running around fighting, pulling each other's hair. Well, that's what siblings do. My kids didn't do that. You know what I told my kids? The devil is a lie. Brothers and sisters don't fight. That's not in the Bible. Cain and Abel wasn't fighting. They killed each other. We are going to more young people's funerals than ever. When I was growing up, we were burying grandparents, not children. People were dying of diseases. Now they died of bullets and knives and guns and stupidity. These young kids is not getting traffic tickets because the cops are prejudiced. They're getting traffic tickets because they're stupid. You know when you get a young driver's license, you ain't supposed to speed. You didn't get a ticket because you black. You got a ticket because you were speeding and you were dumb. When the speed limit says 25, you don't go 50. Then you run smack dab into a pole, and then some mama come running out of nowhere talking about they hit my baby. You dumb. Do like they used to say back in the day. When your ass get well, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. That's going to stop all that. And members of my family came home pregnant. You know what my aunties and uncles told them? Don't you bring no more babies in this house unless you got a husband. They don't say that now. That's because y'all want that welfare money. Guess what the welfare ain't doing? They don't give you money every time you bring a baby in the house. They give you stamps. And guess what? You can't pay for teeth at the dentist's office with stamps. You can't pay your doctor bill with food stamps. You can't buy a car with food stamps. You can't get an apartment with food stamps. You can't do nothing with food stamps but buy food. Dumb. Then you want to lay up with a man. You going out to work. He got your car. He laying in the bed, resting in your bed that you paid for. Then you get off from work. It take him 2 hours to come pick you up. And don't tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about, because let me tell you something, sweetheart. I did that same stupid stuff. And you know what happened? I ended up with a sore ass, a big stomach, and I still didn't have no husband. So don't put no comments on my daughter's phone saying dumb stuff like, oh, well, she don't know what it's like. It's not the same thing. It is the same thing, because when you're a dummy, you're a dummy. That's why I couldn't get nowhere in my life. Why? Because I'm listening to all that sweet talk, those sweet nothings in my ear. That's exactly what they was, like they said back in the day. Sweet nothings. Because all that sex didn't give me no house. It didn't give me no car. It didn't give me no husband. All it got me was a wet ass. That's all it got me. And when my body got dirty from laying in the bed with them, guess what? They couldn't buy me no soap to clean it. How about that? Well, laugh at that. Because that's funny, ain't it? When the summertime hit and my babies needed popsicles, that nigga I was laying with didn't buy those popsicles. And then when he did buy them, he wanted me to split them between my kids. You can't split one popsicle between 9 children. Your damn baby's eating noodles while your nigga eating steak. And you wouldn't be getting them stamps if it wasn't for them babies. And then he stay there till the stamps is gone. And then he leave and go be with his real girl. And then she sit up and tell him stuff like, you know better. You better go back over there when you go back to that bitch house and make sure you get the money and get them stamps. Because these kids need a few more things. And then you take your stupid butt back with him. Because he said, I left her because she was doing too much. No, he left her because she wasn't going to put up with his mess. And she knew you would put up with it. So when he sucked you dry from everything he could get, he took it with her while he really sat there and babysitted her kids. And all he did was lay on his ass when he was there with yours. Y'all don't get it. So don't tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Because I did the same thing. Same stupid stuff. Came home, niggas laying up in my bed while my kids running amok in my house. And then had nerve enough to let them niggas whoop my kids. I was even dumb to do that. And then you do get a real man that want to help you with your kids, give you money, move you up. I don't want him telling my kids nothing. This is my kids' house. Then you should have stayed your butt by yourself and you and him should have went to a hotel. Your kids should have never met him. Then the man do want to marry you and put a ring on your finger. Then you're too stupid to realize when you got a good thing. Nobody's going to marry you. You can't balance a checkbook. You can't manage a household. You can't even manage your kids. Don't no man want no psychotic, bipolar woman. The bionic woman came out in the 70s. She was strong as a bitch. Y'all is not bionic. Y'all is bi-stupid. That's what y'all is. Because y'all laying up, getting your asses wet for a nigga that wouldn't even give you a promise ring. They ain't gonna give y'all nothing. They promised to come back. They will on the 3rd. That's why they call it Mother's Day. Then you want to sit there. Then after you listen to this, you know what you're going to say? Well, she don't know what she's talking about. He loved me. You know what real love is? Real love is consistent. Whether I'm mad at you, angry with you, pissed off at you, I'm still going to stay there. Because we love each other. We working on what we got. You don't work on what we got while you over here with Susie and the rest of and you with me 3 days out of the month. You going to help me get the baby on the bus. You going to help me take the baby to the doctor. But the minute I'm down to my last $5 on my check, you gone. Susie gets all the good stuff where I get your unlovable habits. No, take your ass down to the gas station to go to the bathroom. That's what you do. And then they want to sit up and say, well, having a piece of a man is better than having no man. How about everybody start saying no? What they going to do, sleep with each other? How about that? How about if I say, you're not getting no more pussy? And then 20 other women come up and say, you're not getting no more pussy. Who they going to sleep with? Who they going to sleep with? What about if the whole neighborhood of black women start saying, until y'all get y'all shit together, ain't nobody getting nothing. My daughter's podcast is going to blow the fuck up. That's what's going to happen. She's going to be a rich bitch. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. You know why? Because everybody going to be calling, hey, boss lady. Know what that motherfucker did? He's a done deal. He's going to be just like a loaf of bread. I'm going to stick a fork in him because his ass is done. You get tired after a while. Y'all ain't got tired yet. Then you want to sit up on the phone talk about your girlfriend. Oh, this nigga did this and that to me. He just don't know. It's over. It's a thin line between love and hate. You don't have no idea what a thin line is. You know when it's a thin line? When you walk in that house and you sitting in that chair, the kids is going over your mama house, He walk in, ain't nothing cooked, the house clean, you got on your jogging suit, that's when it's over. When he walk in that house, I'm like, oh, you ain't cooked me nothing to eat today. You been laying on your ass today, and you step up out of that chair. I packed your shit. It's on that porch. Now you can get the fuck out. I'm going to beat your ass. Nigga, I'm ready. I'm geared up. I'm ready. Even if you whoop my ass today, I'm ready, because your motherfucking ass ain't going to be here tomorrow. That's when you're done. When you don't call your sister. When you don't call your mama. When you don't call your police. When you sit there and you deal with it. And you accept responsibility for your shit. Tired of the way you treat me and my kids. Mainly, I'm tired of the way you treat me. I'm tired. I done had enough. Your kids is bad. You bad. The situation is bad. I'm done with it. Then you get him out of your house. Then you bring the kids back. You sit their ass down and tell them, look, you gonna stop fucking with my shit. You gonna stop fucking with my shit. You gonna get your ass whooped. Everybody eat. Go to bed. It can be 4 o'clock. Let me tell you something. My kids made me so mad one day. I was so tired of my kids. And I mean, the baby was 6 months old. I fed everybody. I gave her a bottle. I changed her diaper. I gave her some food. And I fed everybody else. You know what I did? I put them all in the bed. And I went outside and sat on the porch. And I had a big old sign saying, Mama on strike. People in the neighborhood, how she gonna go on strike? She got 9 kids. Fuck you. You don't know what I went through having them. You don't know my story. That's why you don't understand my praise. You don't know. You come back to my house, you don't hear nothing. You know why my house was quiet? Because it was noisy. I cut off them TVs. Hey, I got so mad at them one time, I started shooting TVs off the top porch. When I'm done, I'm done. You don't get to fuck up my shit. You don't get to tear into my life. You don't get to do what you want to do. God did not bring me here to destroy me. He brought me here to glorify and praise and worship him and to have a good life. He said, I want everybody to prosper and be in good health. How am I going to be in good health when people getting on my nerves? My mama told my little brother one time, I got one nerve left and you stepping on it. And when my mama got through with my little brother and turned him loose, he didn't mess with my mama no more. My mother was 5'11" and a half and weighed 375 pounds. I told my brother, you stupid to let something that big and that tall hit you. I'm a little woman. I'm 5'2". I weigh 210. I wasn't that big when I was raising my kids. And my kids will tell you, they never raised their hand to me. One of them tried. I almost broke his motherfucking wrist. And I beat one child with a loaf of bread so long, my kids had to make me stop. There wasn't nothing left but the doggone twisty tie. And I was still hitting her. And they came in that room and they got me. My 2 oldest kids, they said, Mom, don't hit her no more. Ain't nothing left. The bread was crumbs. It was a full loaf. Because she kept eating my bread. And I just kept whooping her ass. And she was crying.
Not the bread.
Tired. And then I had a son that jumped out the window trying to sneak out of the house. I pushed them out the window. I pulled them back in the window. I pushed them out the window. I pulled them back in the window. And I kept doing that. He said, Mama, I'm tired of you pushing me in and out the window. I said, yeah, and I'm tired of you jumping out of my window. Since you think you're a motherfucking rabbit, let's do this. I did it for 20 minutes. You know what he do now? He don't jump out of no more windows. He jumped off my roof one time. I had a really short house. He put his bed on the ground and jumped off and on off that roof. You know what I did? I snatched the bed out from under him. And he jumped off the porch and hit the concrete. You know what he do now? He's a demolitions expert. He gets paid a lot of money fucking up shit. But guess what? He don't fuck up my shit, and I don't care. Every child I got now gets paid for doing shit that got on my nerves. Boss lady gets paid for running her mouth, which got on my nerves. My second oldest child gets paid for playing in makeup. My daughter Sabrina gets paid for irritating people. My son Darnell gets paid for playing with airplanes. Yeah, she sure does.
That's the real ones.
My daughter Danielle gets paid for irritating old people. My daughter Amanda didn't like teachers. Now she's a teacher. Ha ha ha! My daughter Tay Tay thought she could get in the minds of people. She's going to school to be a psychiatrist. So now she gets paid. She's going to get paid for manipulating folks. Ha ha! How about that? My son Sam wanted to speak to people all over the world. Now he speaks 7 different languages. So he gets paid for talking shit to everybody all over the world. Yeah. There you go.
Good job, y'all.
So I may not be the sharpest tool in the shed or the smartest bitch or the prettiest bitch on the runway. But I am a bad girl because I raised 9 kids alone. Yes, I was married for 5 years to a headache. People ask me all the time, why you get a divorce? Because I missed being happy. I ain't got nothing bad to say about him. I ain't got nothing bad to say about me. I missed my happiness. And I needed to get it back. And I couldn't do it with him. So I told him, bye-bye. He's been with the same woman for over 20 years. He's very happy. And I'm very glad. Because I couldn't make him happy. And I didn't want to. And I'm okay with that. And everything I just told you, that's me. In a nutshell. And I'm okay with that. Because God made me this way. And I went through this. And as my grandmother said, I went through hell and high water. And that's me. And you know what? I'm okay. You can love me or leave me. But I have side effects. Because I've been through some shit. And that's okay too. You can love me with my side effects. You can love me and treat me like I ain't got none. But when my side effects show up, don't get mad. Because guess what? You got side effects too. And that's okay. Because I'm me. And I'm going to continue to be me. Because I have learned my self-worth. And I went through hell and high water. And I'm not even mad at the people that put me through the stuff that I went through. The bullies, the haters, all of them. I didn't even know I had haters. But my daughter Chantel said something to me. She said, you'd be surprised how many people would be jealous of your ordinary ass life. People were jealous of us. I spoiled all 9 of my kids. I didn't even know I was doing that. I was just trying to raise them and survive. And people were jealous of that. How you be jealous of a woman with 9 kids and no husband? Y'all stupid. Mm-hmm. Y'all got 1 or 2 kids and y'all whining about 1 or 2 kids. 1 and 2 kids whining what they want. He mad because he can't get no ice cream. Mad because he can't get no ice cream. I couldn't even afford to buy my kids ice cream. What you mean? Mm-hmm. Mad because he can't get no popsicle. Popsicle? When my kids finally got a popsicle in the house, a case of popsicles, they was grown. I'm going to tell you something. I love my children. There's nothing in the world I wouldn't do for them. But if God told me that you had to go back and raise them, I'd be on my knees begging, please, God, please don't do that to me. I'm so sorry. I don't want to do it again. Please don't do that. I don't want to do it no more. Oh, Lord, I'm so sorry. I won't make the same mistakes again. I'm sorry. Please don't do that again. Please. I don't want to do it no more. Because it was too much. God didn't put more on me than I could bear. I put more on me than I can bear. Y'all stop having all these babies and y'all ain't got no husband. Because when you get irritated with them kids, you can't send them nowhere. Because if you sick of them, don't nobody else want to be bothered with them. Trust me. I know. I sent my kids to my mama when I got irritated. She sent them back. Couldn't send them to my dad's house. My kids couldn't deal with my dad's logic. That's why they came home. I even had a dog that got tired of my kids. He got up under the bed and wouldn't come out. Then I had a daughter. I had a dog one time. She couldn't stand the dog. She used to pull the dog out from there, whip the dog's ass, push the dog back under the bed. And lie and say she didn't do it. And now she don't even want dogs in her house. My kids are beautiful. My girls are beautiful. Got nice shapes. They are the bomb.com. My sons are handsome. Their husbands, 2 of them. 1 of them is still trying to figure it out. And that's okay too. Because we all lose our way from time to time. We all get in the dark place. But when we come out of them dark places, we do come forth as pure gold. Because you know what a rock has to go through to come into pure gold? You got to go through some heat. And I went through some heat. I didn't shine when I was young, but I'm finna shine now. So stay tuned for the next episode. Because me and my daughter, we got a lot of shit to talk about. Mm-hmm. Love you. Peace.
Y'all give it up for Mama Legend, y'all. It's going down. Mama Let's Talk, pre-recorded We'll be airing this at 7 p.m. Y'all stay tuned. Boss Lady's radio show. In this case, Boss Lady show tonight at 9 p.m. Central. We'll see you in the chat room. Peace.
We are now transferring you to a customer care rep. Please hold the line and we will answer your call as soon as possible. Thank you for choosing. By the way, to ensure you're getting great service, your call may be recorded or monitored.